I'm driving home, and as you can see, I'm trying to see what it's like, how good the Steadicam is on my Note 4 as I drive around the streets of Plymouth. And I'm not going to record the whole journey, even though my memory card could probably take it. This is 640 by 480 I'm recording at, so the Steadicam is enormous. The arm I've got it in would actually exaggerate the bumps and lines, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not looking at the footage, but I'm pretty sure the camera's going to be capturing it quite well. Just say that the camera on the Note 4 is amazing, and this is the reason I couldn't get a Note 7, and I refused to get an S7 because I do not wish to lose the pen functionality. So I'm kind of stuck. My phone contract is up in 12 days. So in 12 days time, I no longer have a phone contract, so I'm off contract. I've got to pay £20 a month for it, so $25 for an unlimited everything, unlimited data, unlimited calls, unlimited text. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is that I would have taken a Note 7. I would have signed a contract today, bang, and paid the extra 8 days. Damn, that was a good looking phone. Just they catch on fire. So, no Note 7 for me. Moving on from that, I have bigger issues, right? So I've now got to go off contract for 4 or 5 months and wait for the Note, well, for the S8 to come out. And the S8 Plus or S8 Edge, well, they're all going to be Edge, so S8 Plus will have a stylus. Now, the stylus is my friend. I use it every meeting. I have, in the S Note application, I have practically every meeting I've ever been to with my current job, which is an IT consultant and engineer for an international bank. Now, I really enjoy my job, and I really enjoy the fact that I don't have to carry a notebook around with me. I just have to carry my pen everywhere and with everything I do. We're driving past Devonport Dockyard at the moment. We're past Devonport Dockyard in a minute, and then we'll be turning down onto the A38. And going back to the pen is the best function on my phone. Now, I know I could use an iPhone and have a stylus, but it's not just the pen, it's the S Note software. It is amazing. It is so intuitive, it is so easy, and as long as you remember to save it, it's very reliable. Don't forget to save it, then go to your application and just swipe close all. I mean, swipe close all is a great Android feature unless you're being an idiot, and then it's a bit dangerous. Then it is really a bad thing. I don't normally talk about telephones. I mean, my channel it's a tech-ish channel that mainly concentrates on video games blogging. I blog the video games I play. That's what I do. I don't care what's popular. What I'm doing in video games is what I make videos about. And I'm going to do the same with technology. If there's new technology I'm looking at, I'm going to blog about it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to be, I'm the latest tech phone news, here's the new phone, blah, blah, blah. No. Practical use of phones is far more interesting to me than someone who's just comparing apples and oranges and saying this one's better than that one. I hate those channels almost as much as I hate Tech Rant. Just destroying technology, wasting humanity's effort on building nice things just to blow them up for views. God, it's depressing. It really is depressing as well. Sorry, I had to close a window there. You wondered why my voice strained and I was leaning out of sound. I guess this video is going to have the worst sound quality of any video I've done. Back to me reviewing technology. So I'm going to review technology I use, like the S Pen, which I use every day, and I am going to be first in line to get an S7 Plus. I might be a bit upset if it doesn't have a headphone jack. Samsung, I've heard rumors Samsung have confirmed that it doesn't have an headphone jack, but until I see a press release from Samsung that says we've removed the headphone jack, I'm not going to believe the gossipers on YouTube. There are a lot of gossipers, and a lot of people love gossiping. You know, it is one of those things. Driving and ranting at the same time is hard, by the way. But I'm not trying to rant. I'm just trying to get across what I feel sorry, my car sounds incredibly fast. It is a 1.6, well, General Motors or Vauxhall or Opel, depending on your point of view or what country you're in. And it is not very fast. It is 12 years old. It is quite a fun car. I have upgraded the radio so it's all Bluetoothed up as well. What I'm finding most interesting about all of this blogging in the car and the tech blogging, I don't know if this is something my channel is good for. I don't know if my audience would accept this. I mean, I am a blogger, but I'm a video games blogger. I blog the crazy crap I get up to in video games. If this is received well, I might blog a bit more like this, but this one is a holiday ramble. I mean, I'm going to talk about useless crap on this drive. You get to see me driving as well. I don't even know if that's something anybody wants to see. Normally, you'd point the camera at yourself while you're driving and then talk to the camera while driving. Personally, I find those videos annoying. I would rather see the road. I mean, maybe something interesting will happen and we can talk about that, but I mean, this drive to me is death. This drive is 6 hours, okay? This is a 5.5, 6 hour drive. I'm driving from Devonport to Plymouth, as far as this video is concerned, off the ferry from Toll Point, all the way to Basildon in Essex. That's around 300 to 280 miles, depending on which turns I take and what, you know, how the traffic is and which road I decide to go down. Now, the best thing about this journey is that it is 99% motorway. That is the last time you will see me on the street. This now is motorway. God, doesn't this car sound like a supercharger? It is not. It is just a 1.6 injection petrol. It's just nicely looked after. There are some annoying rattles though. Here in the UK, we tend to drive at 70 to 75 miles an hour. At the moment, I'm only doing 55. Can you see the big lights of the Volvo up there? So, yeah, this is it for the rest of the journey. So this is going to be very boring. So yeah, about the rambling and ranting. So, I mean, in technology terms, a telephone to me is a tool. It is a tool for watching films. It is a tool for watching television programs. It is a tool for viewing all my social network feed. It is my main tool these days for managing my YouTube account, as well as all my social media. It is basically everything I do that is outside of work, that isn't related to my family. I mean, there's family on there as well, but the telephone becomes one of the most important purchases. I was going to say, you know, impeccably important, but that doesn't make any sense. It becomes one of your most important purchases because you spend a lot of money. I mean, I spend more money on my phone than I do on my computer, and I replace my phone more often than my PC. My PC gets upgrades. It gets upgrades every year. The memory goes up, the RAM goes up, you know, sorry, the memory goes up, the hard drive goes up. That road is horrible sounding, isn't it? Also, my computer will get graphics card update every 18 months. Now, my phone, I'm going to have for 24 to 36 months, depending on the contract or how lazy I am to switch it out. It's going to cost me around, let's do it in dollars, around $700-800. And my computer typically won't cost that much because I don't buy the latest high-end i7. I do not see the point in purchasing computer components to sit there. Whoop, let's change lanes a second. I won't sit there and purchase computer components to sit there and be idle. Change back. You know, there's no point to buying an i7 when I don't find any advantage with the games I play. I mean, if I had a 1080 graphics card instead of a 960, maybe an i7 might help me punch the 4K barrier a bit harder. But I have a 1080p monitor. I have a 960 graphics card. Every single game I've got plays on ultra or high. I mean, 60 frames a second. I don't need any more. And I don't know at the moment that I need any more from a telephone. I have a QVGA screen on a Note 4. I have a really, really, really good camera. I mean, it's got a good microphone, a good camera. It probably doesn't feel like it's got a good microphone at the moment. But I wanted the Note 7. The Note 6 was a disaster. It had no memory card slot, which I'm afraid, Samsung, you bring out a phone without a memory card slot, I'm going to somebody else. I'm going to go to someone else. That's just, if you've got no headphone jack, I'm 90% sure I'm going to someone else. But if you don't have a memory card slot, I am 100% going to someone else because the price of phone memory at purchase is ludicrous. They charge you $100 for an extra 32 gig or an extra 64 gig that costs them $10. It is a ridiculous, ridiculous price difference. Look at the OnePlus series of phones. They have the same chipsets, similar screens, and similar construction quality. but they're half the price of one of the high-end phones. Now, okay, it doesn't have Samsung S7 technology in it, but the S6 is still selling for more than a OnePlus, with a slower processor, with worse graphics cards, and with way worse memory. They really do jack the price of the phones up. The competition in the price of the phone is that because people have come secure to a manufacturer, the prices have crept up. Look at the shit Google's pulling. And I say shit because that is shit. That phone is a $500 or pound phone. When I say dollars or pounds, we get charged pounds for dollars. I mean, now it's not so bad, the pound's a bit weaker, but before, when our currency was 40-50% more than yours, it really, really was offensive to pay 40-50% more for every item you purchase, just because it's American. You know, and it's not even made in America, it's made in China and shipped here, but, you know, we have to pay more because we're willing to accept a higher price. It's not because it costs more to ship here, it's not because the taxes are higher. There is higher taxes, yeah, we have like 5% higher sales tax here on average. But that doesn't compensate for why the phones are so much more, why the computers are so much more. Apple's gone even further and have pre-run potential changes in currency due to a political decision, Brexit, before the negotiations have even started to England's exit from the EU. They whacked their prices up by a further 30%. So they're already 40% higher, like, fuck you, we're changing it. For no reason at all. I mean, the reason that really stung is they jacked the price of their MacBook up by 30%, so for us it's now 60% more expensive. In other words, you could buy 2 Razer Blade notebooks for the price of one MacBook Pro. Just let that sink in. 2 discrete graphics card 1060 notebooks for the same price as a piece of crap onboard Intel with a little freaking scroll bar on the top. Yeah, I think they got the same chipset. Razer's got Windows going through. You can play Steam games. It's got a 1060 in it. I mean, you can jack a Oculus Rift into it, or an HTC Vive. There is no VR headset you can put into an Apple computer. None of them are powerful enough. None of them have the graphics card capability of doing it. And yet they're still more expensive. Now in the UK they're so expensive that I imagine their sales figures are going to drop off worse than their Apple Watch sales figures. Apple Watch, yes, this will be a thing you'll use every day. And you're going to need to replace it after 1.5 to 2 years because the battery's going to die, just like your phone. The thing is, when you spend £300 on a phone, you kind of want it to... Oh, there's been a crash or something, slow down to 50. When you spend that much money on a phone, you kind of expect... you kind of expect it to last more than 2 years. I wonder how those people feel 2 years ago who've, you know, 1.5 years ago really, they purchased a £15,000 watch and soon it's going to stop working. Yeah, it's okay when you've got a $200 watch, you can say, well, my watch will stop working, oh, I'll just buy another one. But when you paid $15,000 for it, surely you're going to want somebody to replace the battery. Maybe Apple will do it for you. Maybe. Anyway, enough rambling about Apple and prices. My original point is probably lost somewhere in the ether here. We have already travelled 10 miles in 15 minutes. Not particularly bad. But telephones. The shit Google pulled was where the last point that I haven't really qualified yet. The shit they pulled was they put out a phone with a chipset and a screen identical to the OnePlus 3 and charged twice the price nearly. Now the camera's better. Yeah, the camera's better. But does that mean anything to anyone? Does the camera mean anything to anyone on a smartphone? It means something to me because I do a lot of YouTubing. Now, that'd be normally why I take a Samsung, because damn, their cameras are good. But does it mean anything to anyone else? If you've got a phone, oh, it's got the best camera, but it's got the exact same chipset and less RAM than the OnePlus 3. And the build quality, it's a wedge. It's a good wedge. It feels really nice. It has a piece of glass on the back that is an unhardened piece of glass. I have a friend who's got one, and that stuff has scratched to death. It scratches worse than the screen protector on the OnePlus 3 my other friend has, which is interesting. So I'm torn. I was going to get the Google Pixel phone for the Google features, but there's nothing for the YouTuber there. In fact, the YouTuber in me would be better off with an Apple phone, and with an iPhone, with an Apple, iPhone 7 Plus. Apart from the one thing that Apple have failed to acknowledge, failed to fix, and fucked up their cameras with. When recording video, if a cloud goes past, if you walk from a room that's light to dark, the phone spazzes out and strobes. Oh, I used a friend trying to get some footage at the beach. Every time I turn around and face towards and away from the phone, I ended up recording it on this. I've uploaded it earlier today. Every time I turn around and face and record it to and from, it flashes. I would have signed a contract for an iPhone 7 by now. I would have done it. If you could record video and the light change by 10%, just 10%, and the phone not strobe as the shutter tries to look for overexposed or underexposed, can't it do that in the background? Like the Samsung phone does, like all the others do. Couldn't it do that in the background? So, the Google phone is too expensive for what it is. If I was going to get a phone now, if this Samsung Note dies, I'm going to get the OnePlus, or I'm going to buy a $100 phone or a £100 phone as a cord, some Microsoft piece of crap just to get me through for a couple of months until the S8 comes out. But I will have an S8. Sounds like the Spanish word for friend, doesn't it? I want the S8. I'm gonna write my essay. Love that joke in South Park. Brilliant joke. I wrote my essay about a book. It was so funny. That phone holder sucks.